Hi, Dale.
Good morning, or evening, I assume, over there.
Yeah, correct. 5:30 here.
I figured with the new time I could actually attend now, rather than just uh, watch the YouTube
It's good to
afterwards.
hear.
It's good that it's sensible for you. For you, you're in Mountain, right?
I am Central
Central.
US. Yeah, Dallas, Texas to be specific, or actually suburb, but
Oh, were you in? No, you were not. The place that flipped recently in Texas.
the place that what?
Flipped in Texas. There was a county that flipped Democrat in Texas recently.
Oh, no, because I'm so close to Dallas, I think we're mostly Democrat. Yes, the cities are Democrat. Um, no, I hadn't heard of that. I'll have to look that up.
No, no, it's big news.
I imagine.
It
I've
was
been
a
avoiding
kind
the
of
news, so
35-point shift.
wow. I mean, I've heard that people were shifting. I didn't realize it.
35 is pretty spectacular.
Yeah, it's a big change.
The thing is that pretty much guaranteed that everyone here is Democrat.
Well, I'm Canadian, so I don't express it in those terms. It's NDP here, I guess. I define myself as left wing, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a distinct bias in our membership towards
Oh, we
that
got
sort of thing.
Dale
Hey,
here.
Joel. Hey,
Oh, how
Joel.
exciting.
Yeah, well, the times have changed, so I'm like, don't have to get up at a crazy hour to attend. So I figured, oh, here I'll join in.
Nice,
I was just
nice.
Welcome.
going to say, sorry, I was just going to say that uh, yeah, when it comes to left leaning in politics, when I've talked to you in the past, I often seem to end up falling on politics, being in a group discussion. It's normally a bit dangerous to do, isn't it?
Well, I mean, I think it's, I mean, a lot of our motivation, I feel like we probably have a lot of overlapping motivation of like disappointment in politics, whatever side you're on.
Mm.
So I feel like there's still a lot of possible discussion without necessarily, I don't know. I guess it is always somewhat hazardous,
It is
minds everywhere,
hazardous. I've
but
had I've had interesting conversations. Uh, it's, but on the other hand, I think that hiding it is wrong too. I mean, we're about truth seeking. It's part of the mission. And hiding opinions is not a way to go about seeking for truth.
Yeah, and I think several of us participate in cross ideology groups. So, like in the Braver Angels in the U.S. tries to have foment dialogue and national issues forum and stuff like that. So, but yeah, and there's not much value in trying to hide. I mean, you just say, this is what I believe. Let's have a conversation about it. So, but yeah, in some places that could be dangerous, but there are techniques, which is part of what we're doing,
Mm.
right? Just processes, and
hmm.
most of us, I think, also have family members that fall on the opposite ends of the
Mm.
spectrum. So,
I'll
Yeah.
be honest. In my family is, family of journalists, so
hmm.
I don't know that many people on the other end.
I'm in Texas, so
Well.
there's a lot.
Yeah, it's different. It's different. Just FYI, Jack told me he'd be late. Michael can't make it, has a family dinners, and he said to say hello to everybody. So I don't know how many more will come, but this we're 4 minutes in. I think we can get started.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know if we don't have an agenda for this really, but Joel, I imagine he has some things.
Yeah, I mean, I could bring up some stuff. Doesn't I can always uh, anything that I need to bring up, I can always put in the Discord if we have other things we want to talk about, I guess as well.
Or does anyone have any other topics other than pending name changes and Discord servers?
Was there a resolution? I kind of lost the thread.
Uh, I was gonna yeah, so I was gonna close the poll today, and I think the resolution is collaborative reasoning as the root, and then we're gonna have another poll for the whole name. So I'll close the poll tonight, and then put out a like 1 or 2 days for people to suggest like suffixes to that. Um, the root name, and then we'll do another like 4 days or something to vote on the final name. So hopefully, hopefully then we could be done with the names thing, and then there's still more things that like channels and stuff I want to discuss, but I feel like that kind of stuff doesn't need everybody, so it'd be easier to do and make progress on. So yeah, hopefully that.
Once the name is decided upon, is the everything going to be changed? So the server, the website, all
So,
that.
I guess that was a thing that I was potentially going to bring up. I guess the main question of like, uh, do we want to make a new server with a new name and keep CDL as a current server, or rename the CDL server to the new name?
So the website will stay CDL just because there's still going to be a CDL subgroup specifically focusing on a single canonical source that might be federated, but
Mhm.
single in the way of a single place. You can go and get at a conglomeration of data. So that'll still stay as kind of a sub project. The bigger question is the Discord channel, or the Discord server. And I think, Joel, it sounded like you didn't have a huge hit on that. I don't know if anyone does it, but it does seem like that Tim would prefer us to get a new Discord server specifically for this new name. And if he's passionate about it, then maybe that's the way we should go.
Yeah, I was wondering if you'd be able to make it today, because I feel like in the past I think he had like a slight preference, and I don't know if that maybe since our discussion of the naming thing more, maybe it has changed. I don't know.
I think I saw him kind of reiterate that on somewhere in Discord recently. But
Oh,
I mean, it's probably
okay.
worth asking one more time. I mean, I don't think he was like any stronger for it, but I think he was still stating it was. I think I saw that flash by in my notices, although he
All
definitely
right.
could be wrong. But
All
yeah,
right.
probably just hitting him up one more time maybe would be good, and maybe sending him an email because I'm not sure he's even getting the ats in Discord right now.
Yeah, I noticed that he is in, or he has participated in Discord more. I don't know if he's getting the ats, but he is at
Yeah,
least opening his Discord occasionally.
yeah.
So yeah, I'll make sure I get a response from him, and then we can have that figured
Sorry,
out.
where is the voting happening?
The voting, there's a poll. I guess you probably have to slightly, let's see, scroll up a little bit in the Discord.
Yeah, if it's not pinned, it's a problem.
Yeah,
But I
maybe.
mean, I must admit, I wasn't on the Discord much. I'm a bit overwhelmed these days, and I do what I can.
um, okay, well, here, I'll just post. Um, yeah, I didn't think about pinning it. That is a good idea. I'll do that next time. But let's see, I'll post this in the Zoom. Chat is disabled. Wait, Is that?
Oh, yeah, I disabled chat because I wanted everyone putting everything in the
Oh, in the okay.
Discord server. So
Yeah.
you mind just putting it
So
there?
Well,
pin the
I'll just
poll
pin it.
now
I'll
and
just pin
close
it.
it tomorrow,
Yeah.
and say last chance.
Okay. Uh, just pinned the
Better voting. Okay, cool.
yes. Pinned the root name poll. What is it?
So when you say epistemic, it's epistemic reasoning, or
Well, so this is it. This is just the root like prefix basically. So we're doing another poll with the suffix, but like
uh,
so it could be epistemic tech,
yeah.
epistemic tech exchange, all those options. Well, it'll probably be like at least 10 options, whatever, in the next poll.
Come to think of it, there's some more maintenance we need to do, maybe on this server too. Like the welcome and rules, people aren't supposed to be able to post in that channel, and I don't remember if I set it up or
Oh,
not. I
I
didn't even
see.
notice people were posting in there.
Yeah, we could probably
I realize I put 5 stars on both. I'm happy with either. Yay.
nice.
Hi, Tim.
Oh, nice. We got Tim in here.
Was so busy
Welcome.
responding to philosophy in the Discord, I forgot about the meeting.
That's great.
Well, your ears probably are burning. We were talking about you, so we were
Apparently not. Apparently
we
not.
were
No idea
we
what was going
were supposing your current opinion on the Discord, to keep it CDL and create a new one, or to repurpose it and make CDL a channel in there. What's your latest opinion on that?
Are you hearing me? I don't know. I'm trying to hook up
Yeah,
my phones. Oh,
we
my
can hear you.
you're hearing me,
You're
but my
coming in okay.
working. Um, hold on, switching. It's not working. I mean, here. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I haven't fully thought through it again. I think, a lot of the current people in the CDL group seem to be not interested in the CDL specifically, which would say maybe then we just expand the current group. Um, I still would like to have CDL specific discussions. I mean, there's a whole category of discussions that are like, here's the list of principles. I mean, it's in the white paper as well, but here's a list of principles that you really should agree with before moving on working on this thing, right? But I don't think that's required for the larger group and the larger discussion.
Full
Um,
agreement.
I see things that'll come up, and things will keep coming up. Like anytime there's a question like, "Oh, should we allow anonymous users, or should there be?" I don't even remember what all the main ones are, but like just being canonical in general. What is the idea of canonical? And all those things will keep coming up, and it's like, yeah, that's why the CDL, the canonical debate was designed this way. It was designed to maximize trust. It was designed to minimize bias. It was designed for all that, and those will keep coming up even in the bigger discussion. But they're obviously just a point to be made, and when somebody is talking about their own designs and things. So.
And
Yeah.
one thing I like about the way you're putting it, and I do like it, even though I agree with most of the CDL, and I'm absolutely interested in the CDL. No, I don't agree with you on everything, but that's the point. It's what I like is the idea of defining the rules and criteria, and then saying, well, the CDL conversation is for people who agree that those criteria are important, and that's fine. And maybe we'll have people who agree at 8 out of 9, and okay, that's good enough, come in or not, or this is core. The canonicality is certainly, why are you in a CDL if you don't believe in canonicality? Again, in that subpart, bigger conversation. I'm sure a lot of people won't care about canonicality, and that's fine. But seeing a subgroup, it should be possible to define a subgroup by a set of principles. Like, we're trying to build something in this subgroup that aligns with those principles, and that I like a lot. Naming the principles, I think, would in itself be of huge value. Over.
Yeah.
In listening to the conversations over the last year or so, I can't really think of many topics that we've discussed or that you guys have discussed that wouldn't be incorporated with the CDL. Like, we're saying we want to encompass, more, or other people want to encompass, talk about different areas. But what are those areas? Like, I'm thinking, I think I've watched every meeting, at least the last 12 months. And I can't think of many topics that have been tangential to CDL. So, are we sure? Like, what are the topics that we're worried that not going to be, that people want to branch out on? Does that make sense? Like, we're
Like,
renaming. Yeah, sorry, Joe. Go for it.
I was just gonna say, I would think that basically most, like, if the CDL had its own server and like the new name had its own server, then like most of the conversation, both servers would be like of interest to the other server. It'd just be like I guess like the context of being in the CDL server would mean that, like, well, all the discussions, rather than being independent of the idea of the CDL, I guess, like, would be within the context of, this, CDL thing to design. And um, so, uh, yeah,
I mean,
I
I
guess that's
think
just,
I think really the question here is more operational than anything. I don't think in the end what we're talking about is a new name, or a new group with a bigger name that brings in more people for more kinds of discussions, right? And so the question is just, is it going to be the current server, or is it going to be a new server? Um, the I feel like it's much more of a practical discussion than a philosophical one, in the sense that, what is easier to do, what's going to be easier to manage, what's going to get more people in, what are we losing by doing that? And I think um, a new server lets us start from scratch, which is um, means we don't have any of the history over there. There's been worry that people in CDL current group won't transition over to the new server. I don't know if that's a problem, because that's the personal choice anyway. If somebody just wants to stick to the CDL discussion, okay. The
So we'd keep both, and I agree with that.
Yeah, there may be some friction in, bringing over discussions when somebody comes into the big group and they say, oh, I'm really interested in the CDL stuff. Tell me more about it. It's more work to start saying, oh, it's kind of about that. We can't just say, here, go look at this pin, or here, just enter this group and look at the pin and read the history. You have to kind of send them to a new server, which is um, more work, less to happen, less chance somebody will come over. Um, just more friction, basically. Um,
The other downside with that, also with two servers, is no, it's harder to cross-reference. And I dare hope there will be things worth cross-referencing.
yeah, exactly.
good point.
And the other, you know, the pro. Okay, so talking about how things really work, the cynical view, the way things happen, right? assuming one or the other is successful, right? There comes issues of control and monitoring, management, organization, that sort of thing, right? Um, so there's a question of, if we open up the CDL group to a much larger group, are they going to start taking over and kicking us out of something that we've built? Um, it happens. Is that a big deal or a small deal? Do we just go and then make our own CDL server? We lose our history. We lose the control of those things. Um, how much is that going to hurt? I don't know.
Those are real questions.
Yeah, I don't know. I was hoping that, I guess, like the management of this server would be the same as the management of the other server. So
For
just like,
now, for now, but
well,
those
yeah,
things
I
never
guess
go the way you intended.
that's a good
You
point.
know,
That's a good
yeah.
point.
Okay, I'll make there is a philosophical statement. For me, it's clear that the bigger group will be made of many smaller groups other than ours at some point, or should be. I'm thinking again federation rather than broadening our tent. Uh, that's a different perspective, maybe. But for me, what I think what we should be doing is, can we have a group that is trying to federate the tribes? And then it makes perfect sense to say we're keeping our small group. It still makes sense because our small group has its own, the CDL group has its own raison d'etre, and maybe we'll have another small group for people who are interested in something other than core canonicality, like all the visualization stuff that Bentley is doing is a good example, or stuff like that, and say that's another small group and it has its own existence. And we have federation between them, and that's what we're trying to name the Big Tent. And then we'll reach out to you know, the other groups say, do you want to be part of our big tent?
So does that imply or require rather a different tool than Discord?
The what it does require, I think, is thinking in terms of that makes cross-reference harder because we can't ask everybody to agree on one. Like some people will be on Discord, some people will be on whatever, right? Me and Jack are on Matrix, and Jack's crowd is on Matrix. Because interrupt, and it's easier to interrupt with other stuff, actually. That was the decision. Because I am hoping we can go big tent about it at some point. But but I don't think one tool, if we're thinking federation, one tool to rule them all is not a concern. What we're talking about is how to get these people to make bridges, cross-pollinate with whatever thing they built. And then it would be, let's build a small thing on the side, which is this other interest group within us, and let's build the federation above both of them. And what we're naming is the federation, really, because even the federation needs boundary, right? Like at some point, if somebody gets into, oh yeah, debates and then making a debate club, that's a bit out of scope. Maybe it isn't. I don't know. And then do we get into political debates, as Dale was asking? We get into, it's like we, even for the big group, will need at some point a scope boundary to say this is what we're trying to
Yeah,
federate.
yeah, that's what we're discussing with the name and all that, is
Yeah, yeah,
finding that
yeah.
boundary.
But what I'm saying is the need, I think maybe we should distinguish, we want a federating umbrella thing. And there's some of us who want to have subgroups with other concerns, which is also legit and valuable. And let those, and maybe part of the federation umbrella thing is making it easy to create those subgroups and providing infrastructure for those subgroups. Again, sure, I'm all for that. But
Right.
it's not the same as saying there's going to be a small group and the big group and maybe some other small groups, but the big group is a unified thing, because then we have to worry, as Tim said, about governance much more. In a federation, you can be a bit more supple about governance. We still need to think about governance, even for a federation, of course. But there's more leeway. And you don't have to worry about being dispossessed of history. At some point, you might leave the federation. Those things happen.
So,
But that's maybe
but
that's
yeah,
a different
putting
project.
this functionally, yeah, functionally for this discussion, um, if we want to be more interoperable, more flexible, more federated, I think that means a different tool. It means starting something new. If we want to protect ourselves from somebody taking over and not losing what we've done so far, it at least means starting a new Discord server, right, with separate rules set up and everything. And there, it would be good to set up rules for, what if, each person that comes along, can they have their own little corner, their own channel, and set up where they can start their own discussions. That would be a great way to do it, because people are coming up with topics. Like, I would love to have a corner that's epistemic processes, right? Um, and that would be a channel. Who's going to run it? Who's going to organize? Are you going to have meetings and that sort of thing? There should be kind of a way for the ones that are popular to have their own track of discussions and activities. Is that doable in Discord? I'm not an expert.
You can have roles that like have like create, delete, ban privileges, whatever in by channel, but like the admins of the server always have access to everything. So you could
But
like
can, like, set up a hangout, a video hangout. This is a common thing I see, is a video hangout. That this is what's happening in this channel. Can it do that?
yeah, you could have like a voice channel which can have video, and
Yeah,
you can
this
give
voice channel. Like,
permissions,
I know I've
whatever.
seen, like, there's a whole podcast network that I subscribe to, that, they have their different shows throughout the week, and so they have the thing this is the thing that's going on, right, like we're doing now. I remembered the meeting because I was looking in Discord and saw that the meeting was currently happening, is something that pops up. I don't
Mhm.
know if we need that segregated by channels that different people are running and setting up, or if
Well,
that that
events
that, that
are
seems
per
to have grown quite
server.
a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like uh yeah, I don't have like a great understanding of like at scale, like how, if this is a federated community and we're trying to have a bunch of sub communities, like how much like I don't have experience with managing that. I think Discord does have good permissioning generally, but um yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to answer all questions about it, I guess. But also, I do feel like some of it, like uh, even if we know now that we want it to be a federated community, like, is there some that we can call like premature optimization to just say like we'll we'll figure it out when there are more groups that want to be made, or more, not just more groups, but like more groups that aren't satisfied with just like a separate channel for them and want to have more like inner permissioning or whatever.
Yeah.
It's when we do outreach, right? I mean, we can decide when we do outreach, and I agree that can be punted. We can start small scale and decide, but then let's be clear about reversibility here. I mean, we don't want to lose our history, blah blah blah. If a group starts on our server, on our channel, and at some point decide, we want to do it alone, it's hard. It's hard to take as far as I know, hard to take a Discord channel and say, can you bring me a clone of the Discord with only that channel because that's our history? I don't know.
I feel like I think I'm pretty sure it's possible. I think if it's not a like click thing, then I know Discord APIs like let you pull all the messages from a channel, and
Yes,
you could
I know
like
that.
So like it's doable. I don't know if it'd be,
And maybe
trivial, but
that's good
like
enough. And maybe that's good enough because we don't need to plan for all the contingencies. I have a tendency to overplan and whatever. And
I,
yeah, maybe it's yeah,
and I think in general, just the pattern, like if it's if we're thinking of it like a federation, which I think it generally would be, because people are going to want to break off and talk about different applications and different like subgroups, like scoring and stuff. I mean, maybe that's not subgroups, but um,
subtopics.
well,
I guess there's like subtopics that like most people are interested in, and then there's like subgroups that might want to talk about, I don't know, specific, like a group, I don't know, a group, maybe there's a slight distinction, but
what I'm kind of saying is that if another subgroup, kind of like CDL is a subgroup of this new organization, other subgroups, I think we would expect them to mostly grab a corner of the new server instead of building their own. So CDL would be kind of like a one-off. I mean, if we're really worried about that, I would say if we make a new server, let's kind of close this one down and archive it. So
well,
I'm
just my thought.
I think what would be ideal, this may also be a premature optimization, but like I feel like the subgroup might want different based on its size. Like if like all subgroups probably start as just a channel, but then if they have a lot of things, if they want to make their own like sub channels and like have, I don't know, like 10 plus channels are just for that group, just to like organize their own discussion, then that's like maybe they should actually make a new server. But like, I guess before, I guess I could see in the far future that like, you've got small groups and then you've got like big groups that like really expand, and then that might make sense to have some groups in just a channel and some groups in like a separate server.
Well, one thing that I had envisioned, sort of, if we were to start a new server, is the new server is for general discussions. It's for discussions, conversation. Separate servers are for doing the work, right? So, the Discord server would be here for actually, you know, writing out the functionality we want. Even that is discussion. So I'm not even sure where that would be practical, because we don't work anymore. We're not working together to get stuff done. It's just not happening. If we got more people, then it might be a place where you're running an open source community or something. But
Hmm.
we haven't been like that in a long time.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I just don't want to have to
I
manage two servers. So, but
mhm.
if it's just for that, like if we really spin it up and doing some work, then we'll do that on the CDL to not muck up the other server. Then, as long as we don't have conversations going on in both that are,
Well, so what I like for that type of thing, it seems like, there's a lot of, if there's a lot of CDL specific implementation discussion, it's not really relevant elsewhere, then like it seems like that doesn't need the current CDL server as history. Like we could still keep the current CDL server's history for the new server, or like just by renaming. And then if there is a bunch of like implementation stuff, that could be another that could just like remake the new CDL server as a separate server. And then like yeah, I don't know, so
I put
next.
my hand up, but Marc Antoine put his physical
yeah,
hand up first, so he's
very
going.
quickly. We're talking about CDL history. I mean, the reality is the Discord doesn't have that long a history, right? Our history was on Slack and that was archived. That may be a consideration. But the other consideration is what Joel Joel said, yes, it's possible in theory to archive a thread. Well, maybe at worst, we can do that, archive the CDL threads and walk away if we need to.
You can't, well, from what I just looked up and was reading, there's certainly no way to transfer messages from one server to another. There
Okay.
might be some sort of backup format, but those were answers I found in Subversion and lots of feature requests, but no movement on that. So maybe that's
Really?
I
not
should see if that's possible with Matrix
It
probably.
feels like it should be.
and propose Matrix as a host.
Yeah.
I have a Matrix server running. It's my own server.
Yeah, that's its
Uh,
own danger though. It's its own. Yeah.
so you wouldn't be able to like recreate the old server, but you'd be able to get who sent the message, what the message was, and you just have to like view it in a maybe awkward way. Or like you could like probably have a bot that posts that like you could make a channel that all the new messages are from this bot, but the bot says this person said that, this person said that, and so it's like you could still like scroll through it like a regular Discord server, maybe. It just yeah, it seems possible still.
I mean, we why archive and just leave it there? It doesn't cost us any money. It's a free server, so we can always just come back to it, keep it alive. I guess I don't know what that requires, but like the other thought experiment I think that we should do here is let's go through the first steps of getting the new server going or the current server, the new group going. What are we going to do? We've got our name. Now what?
So the big thing, or the thing that I don't expect to have too much disagreement on, is that just like turning it into a public community server so people can like search it on Discord, and there can be
The
like
current server isn't it? The current
it's
server is not.
it's not, because community server is like a special kind of server that by default servers aren't community servers. So I don't expect there to be disagreement about this turning it into a community server. It's
I'm
just like
guessing that's irreversible, right?
I'm not actually sure. Let's see. I think you probably can turn it off, because yeah, you can turn it off because it like by having it on, it makes like when you search for a Discord server, then it'll show like you could just like search debate servers or something, and then like community servers show up there, but like not community servers don't. I think um there's
It's
like
just a
some
switch on the search.
it's a switch, but to have a community server, there's like prerequisites. Like you have to have like a welcome thing defined with like a code of conduct maybe or something. Like to be a community, just has to there's like some rules to follow, but it's not like but you can turn it off though. It's just like you have to have the prerequisites to like get it. Um, but you don't apply. It's
So
just like
so step one is just getting it set up for that, and then we've got it ready, and then it's public, and then what?
the next thing I wanted to do was add more channels, because right now we just we mainly have like general channel off topic, but I was going to propose a bunch of different possible channels, and also just a way, just like a strategy for adding new channels. Okay, maybe there's a channel where you like server ideas, and then you like someone can just suggest a channel there. Maybe if it gets like 3 upvotes, then we just like make the channel or something like that. There's an idea about like pruning old channels if maybe it's like 5 months no messages have been sent, then we just like archive the channel or something, and then that helps keep from too many channels.
Um, okay, and then it's ready to go. It's public. It's searchable. Then what?
Well, part of making
I
public would be changing its name, right?
No, right. It's whatever. It's
Yeah.
it's
Okay. Yeah.
it's all ready to go with the new name and public
And then I
searchable
think
with the
we
rules and channels set
yeah
up. Right.
we need to decide whether we want to keep the general channel or switch that over to CDL and make a new general channel. I don't know that we
Yeah.
did much discussion
So
in there
so
that's
yeah,
CDL
like
specific.
okay. Yeah.
I
I
guess like
think I see where you're driving at. The
I
question is, how do we do outreach? I think
Well,
this,
that's the end. That is what I'm expecting next. And how do we picture people coming in and that sort of thing? You know, and what's that going to look like to them coming in, and what are we doing in the meantime? And but the main thing,
and what's our role when they
yeah,
come in?
yeah, the sort of the main thing I got out of just this little conversation about it is we have a lot of work to do before we open it up. We have a lot of decisions to make and structuring to do and rules to write and all that before we open it up. Um, and in
Oh,
that
Joel
case, I think,
does.
I have a lot of work. Yeah, I guess I
yeah,
was
maybe.
assuming that like I could just like go through everything that's needed, make like a proposal doc, and then just like not everybody needs to approve it. Maybe just get, I don't know, maybe a couple of you guys just like, yeah, it looks good, and then just hopefully it's not as like the things that might be disagreed upon are not like blockers to just like, oh, the wording, we could still make the community server and then like adjust the word, like refine the wording as as we have a discussion about it or something. Um,
So what I'm thinking is that there's a bit of a road to hoe before we're opening it up and we're ready for people to come in. Um, and that means that there's time to decide if we're doing it in the current server in a new one. Um, the uh, the one thing that's not true is Joel will be making gradual work in creating channels and writing things up and that sort of thing. Um, we could do that in a new server, or we could do that in our current server. He's just setting it all up as we go. But um, I'm just wondering if the decision has to be made right now, or if we need to think, we can think through it while he's figuring out what the group is going to look like more and what people are going to be.
I mean, I think if we wanted to, we could postpone it. I was personally envisioning the like server decision as
The kickoff.
like the
Yeah.
main thing that needs to be done yet. Like because I sure I need to like look into a bunch of stuff, but I don't expect that to take that long. Like I think, maybe a couple of days of just like looking into stuff, coming up with like I don't think there's a lot of decisions. It's more like just like learning what needs to be done as opposed to
Okay.
decisions for things.
Yeah,
So
I think for me, after all this discussion and kind of weighing everything, to me the only factor that's really important, because to be honest, I don't feel from my, because I haven't been participating a lot. For me, there's not a lot of history that I would lament losing if we lost this server, somebody else took it over, right? Um, it doesn't really bother me that much. I don't really need to have an official canonical debate server at this point, as opposed to it being a channel and a bigger thing. The only reason I might want that is if canonical debate itself becomes such a big household word type thing that people are coming looking for it. And I can safely say after 10 years of talking with you guys, I don't expect that to happen so soon. I'm going to be, working on a book where I hope I can make it more of a well-known term, but the book will have a different term, have a different name, and maybe I need a group that has that name, and people are going to look for the book name or whatever. These are things that can be set up later. Um, so the big factor for me, and this has been an issue in the past with some of our members, is does anybody in our group that has posted content in our group object to making it public? To me, that is the showstopper. If that's the case, we have to create a new server. If nobody has any problems with that, I'm actually okay with just converting the current server to a bigger thing. Let's just go for it. Let's do the gradual work and set it up here because it's just extra work to move over to the other one.
I mean, I think
If
we
I
can ask, but I also think everyone assumed it was open anyways.
Yeah.
But
Well,
Yeah.
like I
Like we
know
could have.
that
I don't, yeah,
certain topics for the society library were considered private topics that
yeah.
Jamie didn't want
But I
going
think she
public
knew
in a.
everything was open unless she said it was private. So the default was open. Yeah.
And we did have a discussion like in the Discord server, uh, where Bentley saw recently the welcome and rules channel about like, oh, is this a public server and is it okay to invite random people? And then we decided like, yeah, it's just invite people.
Okay, so I
Uh,
would just say,
uh,
whatever decision we can make, whatever decision just before we go through with making the current server fully public. Make sure everybody a chance to object on that basis. Um, a little 1 week
Well,
rest
uh,
period.
uh,
but I guess like, what if someone says no and then like we make a new server and then the current server, like the new server is public. What is gonna I guess like, what is the value of someone objecting and keeping the old server for what? Like, they're if they want something private, like
And we could
the
tell
current
them if
server.
they can delete messages if they want. I
can
mean,
we,
it's
I
not.
was going to say, can we delete? Yeah, we can delete messages. So tell them we want to open. If you have something private in there, they make sure to delete messages. I think the assumption of publicity was there in that everybody knew the YouTubes were going on. Sorry, the Zoom recordings went on YouTube. I'm
Yeah, there
I
were
think
there were
also
moments in the past where we had to stop the recording to have certain discussions, but
yes,
I don't think
which
that's happened lately. Yeah.
no.
I think so like technically the current Discord server, the link is available like online. It's just not searchable. Like if you go, like it's on the Canonical Debate Lab website. If you go there, the Discord, you just join it. You don't need an invite. So like it's not like the going from current to community. I don't think it's not really that much of an expansion in terms of like public versus private. But so, I mean, there is searchable within Discord, different from like searchable on the internet, I guess. But like it's on the internet.
Joel,
Yeah.
no one's gonna object. If it makes Tim feel better,
We
let's
we can
let's
we
do
can
it.
yeah we can still put a message in the Discord.
If someone objects, I will handle it.
But I
Which is
think
All
it is a fair
it's
idea to
not.
give a good warning. We're doing this. If anybody of you had misguided expectations of privacy, now is a good time to scrub your message history.
right. Okay, yeah, that's a good point.
And I think that's a fair warning, and I think that needs to be said. But yeah, I mean the DMs are still private.
I don't think the DMs are they even in the channel? I think they're in Discord DMs and they don't belong to the server, do they?
It's not to the server.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, I think this is what I've called an APOL decision in the past, where the effort required to make the decision is bigger than the importance of the decision itself. Right? So it's better to make a decision, just go on with it. I think we'll be okay.
Uh,
Yeah. Should we
buying it.
vote or should we?
I think that's unanimous. Or unless
Yeah,
for
I think the
rename.
only Tim, I think you're the only person that objected so far. So I think if you're saying then we're good to go.
Okay,
But
we can open up the current server. I'm fine with that. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Then I'll start looking into the community stuff. We'll get the poll continued. I was saying at the beginning of this meeting that we'll close it tomorrow morning and send out the new like suffix open for suggestions, suffix suggestions based on what the root is, and get that name figured out.
Can I propose party for the suspects? For the suffix.
Party.
Nice, yeah.
Epistemic
Hey,
party.
We'll
Actually,
just
that's
flash them
terrible.
off.
I was
Oh, is that
thinking
a
more
political
party
party?
party, not party. So no, that's a
Great. Yeah,
terrible
so
one.
party is such a
Fiesta. How about that? Fiesta.
fiesta,
Epistemic
epistemic
fiesta.
fiesta,
I mean,
I love it.
literally,
listening
like,
fiesta.
yeah.
Is
Hey,
there a that
you
fiesta
want
TLD? I feel there should be.
yeah.
Oh, that is interesting. If we could get that, I mean, well,
I bet. Yeah.
if there's a TLD out there, that might be an interesting thing to use for the end. Um,
.tech?
well, yeah, if we
.lab
chose
is
tech, then
probably
that would work.
is .lab. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
there's
I tried to get epistemic.tech. I couldn't get it. Obviously,
There
it's
is someone. There's a
popular word.
website that's epistemic.technology. Someone already. It's like the top Google search for epistemic tech. Sadly, but
Yeah.
What does it
There's
actually
just
Epitech.
cover?
I'm starting to
Damn,
call it
somebody,
Epitech.
somebody got epistemic garden. Darn it. I often
That,
get
that,
the
that,
garden one.
yeah, that sounds a little more philosophical than getting stuff done.
Yes.
Epistemic coal mine.
Epistemic forge.
We're working on stuff down here. Yeah.
You remember the forge when
Oh
that was
yeah,
a
yeah,
thing?
forage. I know forage. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, the guy who owns epistemic.tech is on LinkedIn. He's third from
So
me.
that party is a TLD.
I think that'd be too confusing for the Americans.
I think so too.
Yeah,
That
I
is
think it means
totally
the
a
other
joke.
kind of party. Yeah.
Of course.
Not that kind of party.
Yeah.
Since Stephen is not there, because otherwise we'd have the epistemic pizza.
pizza, because his that was like his example for Socrates.
Yes.
We could
Plumbing.
Collaborative
do
reasoning pizza.
we could do
I love
epistemic
epistemic plumbing.
what?
Epistemic what?
Plumbing.
Plumbing?
Plumbing?
Plumbing.
Plumbing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Epistemic plumbing.
that's pretty
I
close.
love
That's
I love it. I
And
just
the
love it.
internet is just a bunch of pipes and tubes, right? Isn't it?
right.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
is tubes or pipes? Nope. Oh well.
I was gonna say epistemic rave on the party idea, but then it sounded too much like an epistemic rant or something.
Yeah.
Do it epistemic.
Dot rant is not a TLD. Dot rent
No.
is, but
Yeah.
sorry, I'm being a bit silly here.
We all are. Yeah. All right. Anybody else want to add something to the name discussion, or should we close it out with our decision? Or we could talk about how we want to organize the structure of the
What?
server. How we want to do
Sorry,
outreach.
I'm
What TLD did you find?
epistemic science.
Ah,
Oh, there's a dot science.
no,
There's
but
a dot
epistemic
science.
science is academic. I mean, there's whole fields of epistemology, right? There's
Of course.
many people basing their careers on not building technology.
Yes.
Hmm.
But
Um,
anyway, sorry.
I'm just now that you've got me curious. uh, Wait, what is that? I'm trying to remember. No, I forgot. Yeah, I was curious about Rule 34 for epistemic. I haven't Googled it yet. I'm afraid to, but I bet there's something. Yeah.
Hey, yep.
Uh,
Um,
We got about 5 minutes left on our normal meeting time. Any other topics?
channel proposals.
So just my algorithm for putting new channels is I think people need to have discussions in general until we kick them out. So
You mean um,
don't make a new channel until
what do you
it's
mean?
like, oh, y'all are plugging up the general rather than building channels. But I think I've kind of implied that in the past, but that's the rule I would choose.
I guess feel like I feel like more channels would make it easier to have more discussion. Like it kind of, if there's a topic that multiple people want to talk about, I feel like if everything's in general, there's a slight pushback to like, filling up general too much. And so like, I guess,
A channel for new users, a channel is a menu item, right? Like,
well,
what kind of discussions do we want people to be having?
right. Well, so in that way, I guess it could be a good or a bad thing where like, it could be good in that like, oh, it's kind of like suggestive of like, oh, these are the different kinds of things if you're interested in, you pick one and you can like, oh, I want to talk about that, to go there and start talking about it. If it's just general, then maybe they don't know. I mean, just based on the server description, I guess like
And I
what.
guess if we're gonna have a rule about cleaning them up after X time, then there's no harm, no foul. I just would say no more than like five or something. Because if you get much more than that, people get overwhelmed by choice and don't know where to start.
I think we could start small. I do think that Discord is slightly better than Slack for like managing more channels because I think like by default, and this could be configured, but by default, like I think you join all channels, and then like if someone points a message out, if it's active, then like then you could go to that channel and see what someone said. Whereas like so if you join and you're just like in all the channels, then like by default, you can mute them when you want to like leave a channel, I guess.
Yeah, so channels aren't silos like they are in Slack as much. Is what you're saying.
Right,
Although,
right,
like
because it's
the thing I
yeah,
liked about so many channels in Slack is to me it was their filing cabinets, right? So I know specifically talking about epistemic process, I'm going to want a channel for that because I want to log all thoughts about that. I almost might want sub channels because, or I guess it could be threads. I find, I
you can have
find,
channel categories in Discord if you want to like put multiple channels under one category. I don't know if
yeah,
that's what you meant,
I,
but
I I find Discord to be kind of claustrophobic to me. It's hard to read the messages; they're all kind of squished in. But
This is all
like,
solved in Idea Loom.
I'm sure.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have to being a bit cheeky, but I guess I'm in that mood.
Yeah, no, I mean there are so many tools, and the problem is, um, the popular ones don't do the things
well,
you necessarily want. But
I think on that point of having like a log of that topic, basically topics, discussions on that topic, like it does make it easier for continuing older conversations on a topic, especially if like someone new comes in and they can see like, oh, this topic, these are the
This is
things that
all
were
the
discussed.
thinking. Yeah. So for like one topic for me would be epistemic attacks, vectors of epistemic attack, right? To me, that's almost like a catalog. It will be. I want to make a catalog, right? But I would want a place where people just drop in, hey, I just came across this, you know. Um,
So kind of on that point is like I posted a few things about in the media where people were talking about debate and stuff like that. And I was about to post like the latest episode of Star Trek. These are a whole bunch of like this Starfleet Academy, so they have an episode on debate. So they do their debate class.
Starfleet is federated, right?
The Federation, yeah. And I was starting to think, well, I'm starting to post a lot of these, and that would be something people might want to filter out, especially Starfleet Academy. That's not specifically about debate; it's more debate in media. So that would be something that maybe we have an in media channel.
Yeah, I definitely think that like I was thinking like articles, papers, media, etc. or something like that just like even if it's not just like videos, sometimes there's like blog posts or something. I feel like that's kind of a similar category that uh you know, then we have a channel, then it's all organized there, and if people don't really care, then they can mute the channel, I guess. Maybe. I don't know.
Like Tim was saying, it's probably not too critical either way. I might go ahead and post those, and y'all can tell me to move them in a channel.
Yeah, there's two
Because I don't know what
different
the name.
there's two different things going on here. One is, worried about spamming people with a topic they're not interested in, right? That's one reason to move to a channel. The other is having a clean record, a concise record of a specific thread of discussion or topic or thinking. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
If there's,
sorry.
if there's nothing else burning, then we can go ahead and close down the meeting and keep chatting in the Discord channel. And we'll move forward. Thanks, Joel, for pushing all this stuff forward. Really appreciate it.
Keeping the group going, keeping us alive. Yeah.
A group worth keeping alive.
Yeah. Hopefully I can start working back on my project soon. So, all right.
Cool.
Thanks, everyone. Talk to you
All
next
right.
time.
See you guys.
Bye.
See
Take
you.
care.